Is the eccentric billionaire Ike Perlmutter no longer the CEO of Marvel? Let's talk about it. What is up, YouTube? It's Josh. This is the Den of Nerds. Guys, all the credit in the world to CosmicBookNews.com. They are my source for this sweet little scoop that I picked up a couple hours ago. Apparently, it is somewhat official that Ike Perlmutter is no longer the CEO of Marvel. Now, apparently this news had broke months ago on some articles that were never really confirmed by anybody at Marvel. See, the thing is, Ike is literally so against the media, and he's lived such a, secluded life from the limelight that he basically just stepped out of his position and never really confirmed any reports that he had been no longer acting as CEO, or at least that's what this report would have us believe. So this is kind of interesting for a number of different reasons. If you've been watching the channel for any amount of time now, and by the way, you totally should and totally subscribe, please. But if you've been watching the channel at all lately, you know I've been extremely critical of Marvel as of late, especially when it comes to their comic book line. Some of the decisions that they have been making over the last couple years have, in my opinion, been very boneheaded, and they have turned off a lot of their fans. Now, a lot of this stuff has to be laid at the feet of Ike Perlmutter. He is a notoriously cheap person. I think that he does a lot of gimmicky things to push, little bubble sales, as I would call it. And the bottom line is, this guy's a toy guy. He is a billionaire because of his investments in toy companies and toys in general. He's a toy guy. This is like a big notorious thing. So I think that it's fair to say that he did certain things in his entire tenure that really positioned his other interests and assets in a really good way. Like making dope-ass things that would become dope-ass toys in Marvel Comics. I'm not necessarily super against that as a concept because I like cool toys and cool things in comics. But there are some other things that have hurt Marvel beyond just the comic books that I think would also lay at the feet of Ike. I'm talking most notably about his beef with Kevin Feige. This beef was so real and so crazy that Feige had to literally lobby, I believe Bob Iger himself, to restructure the leadership around the MCU so that Feige would no longer have to answer to Ike when dealing with the MCU. However, this caused a weird problem in which Joe Quesada and Marvel Television still did report to Ike Perlmutter, which is, I think, part of the reason why the sharing relationship between the Netflix shows and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and other things has been so estranged. It's really been one-sided, and we haven't really gotten the MCU to really support these other properties, and some of the timeline things are a little bit messy with their sharing as well. So, hopefully, with things like Samuel L. Jackson, supposedly co-starring in Miss Marvel, and he is a guy that has been on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. a lot, and, hopefully that, coupled with some rumors I'm hearing that A, Daredevil will be showing up in Infinity War, and B, that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to have some kind of crossover with Ant-Man and the Wasp, hopefully in the movie. This is all stuff that could be basically done because of the exit of Ike Perlmutter. If this stuff had been in the works for the past couple of months and he did indeed step away in the past couple of months, that's a good sign. If you're a fan of Marvel and the MCU, this is probably all around a good sign. And I don't really want to bash on Ike. I don't really know the guy. I mean, I just know that he has a reputation for being incredibly cheap. I've heard rumors that there were actors and actresses that they could not sign under the beginning usage of the Disney and Kevin Feige MCU thing because Ike wouldn't pay the money, wouldn't do this, wouldn't do that because of money reasons. I've heard rumors that the reason that we don't have a solo female-led MCU film so far is because of Ike Perlmutter. I don't know if that's true or not, but these are just things that you hear, and where there's smoke, there's usually fire. So I naturally am not a huge fan of Ike, but to be fair, I really don't know him at all. I do think this is reason to sort of celebrate, though. I think that you can sort of draw some conclusions between him leaving and some already good things happening, and the potential for even more good things to happen in the future. I mean, we're looking at Marvel Legacy here, and we're looking at whatever the event is beyond Marvel Legacy, and it's possible that we might even get an announcement about a new CEO, about some kind of shakeup, or the future of Marvel Comics at San Diego Comic-Con this coming week. The Den is going to be covering San Diego in as much of a capacity as we can do. Looking forward to a ton of cool stuff with the MCU, the DCEU, and the TV shows. But this news drops just days before Comic-Con, which is very, very timely, very interesting to me. So wanted to report this, bring it to you guys' attention. What do you think about this news? Please let me know in the comments section. Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think he's still going to be involved in some capacity? I've heard that he might be one of the highest stockholders at Disney, so he might still have some kind of a say. Let me know your thoughts about this situation in the comments section below, guys. Really looking forward to talking to you down there. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and nerdy day. See ya!